Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Hello everyone and welcome back to IEM Sydney 2018 match day number 2. And we're starting off with Chiefs up against MVP.PK. The boys from down under that upset North last year. It's a different look lineup against, one would argue, some of the best from the Asia region. It's going to be an absolute blockbuster for this elimination match, Mitch. There's only one chance for these two teams in this best of 3, and this is it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, PK definitely would have been my pick for the best team in the APAC region. Bit of fanboyism perhaps, and IEM Sydney's 100% shaken that all up. Can't get my words out.
I mean, admittingly, they've only played a single best of 1 just yet against G2, who are looking in good form, and MVP, they weren't showing up in that matchup. In Tyloo, they were showing up in that matchup, so it still remains to be seen whether MVP can turn up today. But first, let's focus on the Chiefs a little bit. Obviously, the boys from down under, we know them all too well, but the lineup from the last year, the legendary lineup, one would say, only one existing member remaining, and that is Tux, who is still, as far as I know, the captain of the team. Maybe not the IGL. I think that's been passed off to Flix.
Yeah, it's either Flix or Sterling, I'm not sure, one of those two, but I guess we'll see. Definitely a different look Chiefs. They did quite decently in the online qualifier for IEM Sydney, but definitely some things that they're going to need to reconsider coming into this tournament. Cobblestone was one of their main pick maps, and now that's been taken out of the pool, so they're definitely going to have some special preparation. I know that they've been boot camping, etc., for quite a bit for this event, so coming in prepared, not much you can do when you get drawn against Fnatic, like a lot of the APAC region getting drawn against top teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking about how Chiefs qualified for IEM Sydney. So they made their way through the Oceanic qualifier. They came second overall. They lost against Greyhound in the qualifier, in the seeding match, should I say. But they managed to qualify by taking order down 2-0. Admittingly tight maps, but still no easy feat. Led by APOC, the new super sub, so to speak, now full-time member, taking, what was it, a 5-month hiatus away from Counter-Strike and just coming back and just blasting what we thought was the best team in Australia at the time.
Yeah, they absolutely, went through that qualifier amazingly, taking out order like you said, but when they came up against Greyhound, they got absolutely pumped. It was not even close. I think it was like a 16-2, 16-6, 2-0. And one of those maps was Cobblestone, like we talked about. But, on the flip side of the coin, if you're looking at PK, they actually beat Greyhound when they played up against them recently at the Pro League, I believe that was.
Yeah, at the APAC finals. I mean, it's going back to, once again, I always talk about the hunger of the teams, like how much they really want it. And we saw that yesterday from Greyhound. Now, if that unit came up against an MVP that was a little bit lackluster like we saw against G2, then we could have had a different result. So I'm very hesitant to just put Greyhound a little bit underneath MVP, knowing that there wasn't too much on the line. I mean
we definitely can't now anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering that it took down SK, I mean, MVP haven't taken down anyone of note just yet. They have a chance, firstly, to put their foot forward against Chiefs. But Chiefs, this is also the opportunity to do damage. We can never count them out, especially this lineup. It's got enough of everything. You've got the veterans on there, APOC as well as Tux playing for a lot of seasons. You've got the young firepower in Sterling as well as Texter. And to just top it off nicely, you got Flix, who's pretty much, in my mind, the entire package.
Yeah, definitely. He's more like a playmaker. He makes those big rounds happen when you least expect it, and he sort of drags you through the tough times, I feel like, whereas the other two might get a lot of, frags and put a lot of damage on the board. Be interesting to see. I think this Chiefs roster at this event in particular is really going to come down to how well does Sterling perform. If he's in-game leading and AWPing and doing the whole package, he's got to be able to perform decently well. Is Texter going to keep up that insane run of form? I mean, if you talk about the past year or so, maybe year and a half or whatever, Texter's in the argument for best player in the whole region, going through the dark side of lineups and then now going into Chiefs, he's been insanely consistent. You can go look at his rating. It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's on LAN and online, so it'll be pretty interesting stuff. This is a completely different stage than he's used to, and the pressure, is pretty intense. Obviously, they couldn't get too much rolling against Fnatic, but how much can you really take from that?
Yeah, I mean, so that's the focus on Chiefs overall. They did go down against Fnatic in the upper bracket quite convincingly, but now there's a chance to do some damage. But MVP.PK, like Mitch said, he's a big fanboy of them. I mean, I also admire them as well, to the stage that apparently my jacket's mistaken for their jacket.
Every time that they win, you literally go, all hail the Korean overlords.
I mean, I start from the weekend just wearing that jacket. No one just notices until MVP rock up always. You know how much I wear that jacket, so
Yeah.
it's just the same. It's the same color scheme. Hopefully MVP can bring their winning ways though, because they were looking very, very lackluster in G2, where we go, okay, Inferno, this could be very scary for G2. It wasn't scary at all.
When that pick came out, Kev, I was rubbing my hands together. I'm like, oh man, G2 do not know what they're in for. But I was talking to Sniper about it, and he literally said, there's two types of MVP. There's
Yeah,
the one that
pretty
rocks
much.
up and the one that doesn't rock up, and they did not rock up whatsoever. They got rocked.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they get rocked like that, then who knows? It could be Chiefs actually making their way out a victory in the best of three. I mean, just given the results and how everything goes, you'd expect MVP to do better against some of the Australian teams. And Chiefs, I mean, they're in the contention for maybe the fourth best Australian team right now in the Oceanic region. Maybe the third best, who knows at this particular point in time. We haven't had a full get-together just yet in terms of just the Australian teams. But hopefully that'll happen soon, and we'll see where Legacy places there as well. But MVP, this is also their chance to try to cement the legacy as well. We've got a lot of veterans in terms of in Solo, in Zeph, in Glow. Just so many years of experience, and you can never underestimate that. And then you bring in a new AWPer like HSK, who's starting to find his rhythm and form, and then you've got probably just the best player in Korea, Zion. Like, I don't know how to describe this man. He's insane.
Yeah, he just gets, 90 kills across the best of 3 series and stuff like that against the best team in the region. He's a massive impact player. He makes the game look effortless to play, and, it's just fantastic to watch him when he's on form. But, it's the same thing that people said about Benchet. When they're in the APAC region, they can absolutely dominate, but once they step outside of that, it's not only about your individual performance. Sometimes you might need to change up what you're doing to make the team succeed a little bit more. We'll see how he goes. He's going to go up against an old familiar face in Chiefs, so they should be 100% in their comfort zone. No funny business. Just play their game and get this one over with. I'd expect MVP to come away with
I'm
it.
about to say that depending on the map picks, and we'll take a look at the map picks, and we may see some funny business, especially from Solo.
Okay.
We'll have to take a look and see. But let's get the map picks underway. So the Chiefs instantly banning out Dust 2, and
Okay.
Overpass actually banned out by MVP. So decently standard stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs, they literally had Cobblestone as their main pick, and now this has obviously really affected their veto, because now that they have had to ban Dust 2 in the first stage, that's pretty interesting. Interesting that PK has gone for the Overpass ban. I would have expected them to take something else out, maybe from the Chiefs map pool, whereas I would expect that to, if it even came into the pool, it would be like the third place decider, but...
I think Chiefs actually has a really good chance on Train, because this should be the first pick for Train, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be Train and Inferno as the next two picks.
Sure. Yeah, Inferno should be picked. And it's interesting, Inferno should be picked for PK, right?
Yes.
Well, Inferno, Chiefs first banned it across the entire IEM Sydney Open Qualifier. They first banned Inferno consistently. So if MVP is able to get Inferno here and Chiefs hasn't done any special preparation on it, I don't feel good about this best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, but Train, definitely a good chance for Chiefs, because MVP, we're looking a little bit lackluster, so I have to see and roll ahead what the picks are going to be before we decide to go on. It's actually Nuke being picked up, which to me, it's a little bit worrisome, because MVP do play Nuke.
Yep.
I wouldn't have looked at the results where MVP played Train and been scared by it, because they had a lackluster half on the T side.
Yep. I would have to agree with you. I mean, Train is a long-time pick of MVP as well. I'd expect that to now be the decider, because both teams play that. Maybe MVP will take it out of the equation.
I don't think we'll see Train. I think we'll see Mirage as the final map.
Yeah.
Just because that's going to be something more teams are going to be happy with.
It just depends on which of these teams decides to do a preference ban here. Like, maybe MVP will ban Mirage and then wanted to get it closer to Train, or maybe it's be the other way around. We'll see. See what
Let's
ends
take
up
a look.
happening.
Let's let the bans roll forward. Cage being banned by Chiefs and Train, so it's going to be
So we're going
Mirage.
to Mirage. That's
See,
pretty
I'm
interesting.
correct.
Yeah, you're right. MVP, lackluster on Train recently, although it's been a map that they've played for pretty much a year now.
It was just that their CT side looked very, very good against the teams, and obviously they won. I think they won against Signature, as well as took a very easy victory against Tainted. But the way that they won it was it was a demolition on the CT side, and the T side, they struggled to close the game out.
And not to mention, Chiefs, it's just one of their main maps. You wouldn't want to get Chiefs, if you're going 1-1, you wouldn't want to get it on that comfort pick for the third decider. However, I really think that this veto is extremely scary. Obviously, Chiefs, historically, a map that absolutely loves playing Nuke, and obviously Flix, and Techstar had to play against Chiefs so many times in the APAC scene back before they joined this roster on that map in particular. Nuke used to be like the deciding map for all of these series, because Nuke would always be special picked, and it forced the more puggy teams to start really practicing it. So a lot of their rosters should be pretty well comfortable with it.
I know Tex is very comfortable with playing on Nuke at 60 frames, so now playing on some more frames per second,
I literally was there to experience that. I was in the match. I was throwing full upper executes. Everyone's frames went to 0.
Yeah, well, enough about that for now. I mean, we're just focusing in terms of Nuke, in terms of this. I mean, it's going to be... It is a scary pick in terms of my mind coming into this, but Chiefs definitely have a good chance alongside the MVP. This should be an excellent opening match coming out for this qualification.
It definitely should be.
Not for qualification, but elimination match.
It definitely should be, but I am very scared for Chiefs if they do drop Nuke. I think the series is done. It's going to be pretty scary.
All right, this is it. The best of 3 to determine who makes their way over into the next stage of the lower bracket and who will drop out of IEM Sydney. It is going to be Nuke starting it off between MVP as well as Chiefs. Take it away, Mitch.
Should be pretty interesting to see what's happening. Zeph just with the kid and smoke, that's very valuable if the bomb plant goes down on the lower side or the upper side. You just drop the smoke and defuse in the smoke while people are swarming the bomb site. Tux with the P250 flash and smoke going pretty quick out uppers here, Kev.
Yeah, they're just busting straight out right now. The pistol not messing around, but Zion similarly not messing around, dropping down with the USB and still picking up headshots. It is a clean hold right now for the A-bomb site. Tux now left with the sole opportunity to try to find some more picks, as well as to try to get the bomb plant down to 1 and 3. He's got the P250. He's also got a smoke grenade to work with. At the very least, he's got the armor penetration value of the P250, but no armor to work with. And already Zion just off to a red hot start. All the CT is going to be on the site. Zion's going to pick up 4 in that round. That is a absolute start that MVP needed. That is just telling Chiefs, you are not allowed here on A.
I mean, whenever you're running into one of those upper stacks as Chiefs, it's scary business. If the CTs hit their first couple shots, which they did, then you're in for a pretty rough round at that point. The people coming through hut and door don't make very much impact whatsoever. They get absolutely steamrolled, and then that flank from outers through Annex does nothing whatsoever. And look, they're not really invested too much into this round, Kev. They're going to save for the utility, so that means they have some specific game plan in mind. HSK just trying to pick someone. As they all go up over the silo, we're going to see some action here.
So right now, it is going to be Tux, as well as the rest of the men from Chiefs and the boys coming in and trying to contest his outers positions with these Desert Eagles and P250s. But HSK, he's going to be trying to find the angles, and he's doing a lot of damage right now to them, and Zion's going to pop his head up. Needs to be cautious, so a lot of T's around here. Ooh. And that's why you want to be cautious, because Flix, he's got the Desert Eagle. And now the T is just slowly, ever so closer, encroaching on that CT position. Is now Sterling. He's tanked, but he gets the dink down to HSK. Still a perilous situation, but Zeph finally makes his position known with the XM. He can farm up a lot of cash right now. Decides to pull out the USP, not knowing that Tux was low. That's all right. But action is going to be slowing down a little bit as the bomb has been dropped very, very far away from the remaining Ts.
Yeah, Flix has retained himself an M4, though no armor, so he will get aim punched a little more. Sterling just creeping up, low HP, and they should be able to trade something here. Into Annex they go.
Yeah, Solo is watching the angle though, but Sterling, sharp shot coming out from the Desert Eagle. Pristine one tap. They should know that Zeph's still here. They don't though, and Zeph still has the XM. He's looking to farm up cash. Sterling holding the angle. Zeph trying to draw the shot, now knows where he is. Sterling still holding, still waiting. Still trying to find an opportunity to do further damage, but not granted the reprieve. Glow's going to pick up the final kill on the MP9. M4 retrieved as well in the hands of Zeph.
Yeah, not too bad for MVP. Those Deagles doing quite a bit of work. I mean, if you just invest like a couple $100 across the board for the Chiefs and you get 2 kills out of it, you're at least keeping the MVP economy honest. And on Nuke CT side, that can make such a big difference because, you know, those Molotovs to stop the smokes outside, mollying the heart, mollying ramps, using those smokes to just slow down the Ts. They can't do anything fast and it slows down the round a lot. Be interesting to see what happens on the outside here. Yeah,
it's just once again another fast train coming out for the Chiefs, just contesting this outers position. But now Zeph, he's still got the XM, and he's just farming up so much cash right now. If he gets this 3rd kill, that's $2,700. That pays for the weapon itself. Doesn't matter if he goes down. HSK still out in the open. Doesn't know that Sterling might be trying to wrap him. It should be Sterling going down pretty routinely. Glock just doesn't have enough damage to take down Glow, so that's the first 3 rounds taken in pretty comprehensive fashion by MVP. But here out come the guns for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and that double save is pretty much got Chiefs all the utility they want, all the bells and whistles, whatever they want to do, whatever strategy they have prepared for this game. They specifically picked Nuke into PK. They know it's a decent PK map, so they better have something special for us, Kev. Are we going to see those outside smokes? Do they have a set play, maybe a double pump to just net them the first gun round and get MVP's economy a little bit more chipped away at? Looking like they're setting up some kind of smokes towards the outside. The triple nade comes in from PK. A bit of a throwaway from them. Not fully upgraded across the board. It looks like Flicks. I think this is a heaven smoke, so this is probably going to be an uppers execute pretty soon here, Kev. And Texter just lining up behind the door. Zine going towards lowers. This will be the perfect time to strike. How much damage can Zeph do towards Squeaky here? Molotov's being lined up. Oh, here it comes, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, the anticipation is killing us, and the Penguin is going to be suffering for it. But out come the Molotov. Zeph does has an XM, but he's going to just smoke himself off. So the Molotov does go out and just instantly deletes Texter. There is just a shotgun bullet in his head. Oh, the shotgun's doing further damage. Now the rifles have come into position, but APOC only 2. It's not a good enough at this scenario. And Flicks, he's going to be tagged down by the scout of HSK, and Zine is going to be finishing that off. That is a clean hold. And once again, this XM, we saw it in the hands of Magisk earlier on, and now in the hands of Zeph doing damage.
Yeah, honestly, that Chiefs execute, they didn't know that MVP was 100% going for the throwaway there, and MVP just using all those weapons in the uppers bomb site. How many players were there for MVP there? It seemed like 3 or 4 in the upper bomb site, and Chiefs, you know, they're getting picks here and there, thinking, oh, the trades are coming through. You see Flicks on top of the roof there at Annex. He's like, where's the guy from lowers rotating up? I'm meant to be getting a pick on the rotation here, but there just was nothing, and now Chiefs going to have to slow down. Like we said, plenty of money in the kitty for MVP, and that's going to mean that Chiefs can't go anywhere fast through these smokes, these Molotovs. HSK just playing the left side of the warehouse here. Not going to let anybody dropping into the Annex there. Zine pretty ready for anyone coming down lower, although HSK can pretty much spot that quickly here.
Worrisome signs as well for the Chiefs as well, Mitch, because this is now outers. I haven't tried a full outers just yet in a buy round, but this A bomb site is just so, it's held so firmly by MVP. It's pretty much a no-go sign at this stage.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I mean, it's pretty interesting they went for the uppers execute so quickly into this game. It kind of affects what's going to happen with your T side later, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, Glow, he's just going to be holding a safe angle for now. HSK, he was also holding safe at Warehouse. They're going to be challenging this M4 at close range. Tux, he's going to drop the bomb out in the open. Texter at least gets the trade, but the bomb now lost at elbow. It's going to be very difficult for the Ts to actually come back and retrieve the package. None of the CTs, though, close to deny that. Everything's going to slow to a crawl for the next 40 seconds, about so, as the T's trying to make their way down. Now Zeph with the XM, just farming up more cash. Texter on the prowl to see at the very least he can try to do some more damage, but it's so difficult to do damage to the CT economy, especially if Zeph is building up money with an XM.
Yeah, and they've done absolutely nothing. I mean, HSK's got 12k. He's the all-bar solo. You know, he's just going to buy some utility, but he'll be able to get drops from any of his teammates. And here's the full utility set across the board. Interesting, like I said, that Chiefs went for that uppers execute so quickly into this game. I mean, that's going to mean that when, you know, you can't start to play the mind games with the executes as much, throwing the outers smokes and then going elsewhere or using them. Are we going lower? Are we not going lower? And that's going to make it a little bit harder to sort of establish any of these mind games for Chiefs moving forward in this. Now they're going to go for the outers execute here and see if they can get any control. Those HE nades again on Tux, straight down to 15 HP. HSK seeing what he can do. Looks like MVP's opting to try and fight for this a little bit more, but HSK now backing out, letting them have it. But Chiefs very hesitant, and these smokes aren't being used. They're going to be going down soon, so I don't think Chiefs are interested in going to lower just yet.
I mean, it is very difficult for Chiefs because with Tarks copying out 2 or 3, it's indicative of the fact that there were 3 CTs. They could be in warehouse, they could be in secret at the stage, and there's just too many angles to be checking. They're going to wait for the smokes, but as this time is fading away, you can see that as the smokes dwindle out, only Tux with a single smoke grenade left. There's nothing else to Chiefs to really work with. And
it's looking like Chiefs walking back towards lobby, haven't done anything, and it's a minute to go. AWP on Sterling, maybe he'll take it towards ramp, see if he can have a bit of a pick. APOC getting tagged up a little bit, and they're all just going to walk back into lobby, but look at this setup for MVP. HSK goes straight up into heaven. We got Glow boosted on ramp here. Effectively, MVP have 3 in uppers with 1 on the fast rotate to ramps if they need it, and that's bad news for Chiefs.
And Glow trying to fake this out as well, dropping the utility from that boost position, trying to make the T's check that area. And you can see Texter's checking it, but he's there. He's just completely gone. Glow just outplaying the rest of the Chiefs in terms of that informational play. Now he's got the Cinder Grenade. He can just buy so much time with this. Chiefs, they're still going to push through it though, and they might just be going into a grind, or they have to take so much damage going through it. Now the rifles come down on the rotation. Zeph still with the XM. That is not the weapon you want to be holding at a long distance. Sterling still trying to watch Ven, but the damage has been done on the side of Zine with the AK-47. Zeph, close range of the XM, can't get anything done, but the bomb is lost in the open. It's going to be Zine picking up 4 in the round. But seriously, that was down to Glow just doing a phenomenal job holding into the ramps area.
And this is the problem. I mean, Chiefs looking so hesitant, and the reason why they're taking things so slowly is, like you said, the Triple H in towards outside. They're used to playing against these APAC teams who are going to fight for some of this control, who are going to go for these picks, but you're playing up against MVP. They're probably the most structured team. They've got the decision-making. All the flow charts are going perfectly, and they're just making the rotations on a dime, and unfortunately, they're not making any of these mistakes that Chiefs are looking to capitalize on. Flick straight on towards the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going straight out, trying to go fast maybe through Squeaky, but Zeph just putting the Incendiary Grenade down is just going, nope, you can't really go here, but Chain's actually just going to the outer's position instead.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're going straight towards these smokes. Are they going to actually go into lowers, or will they opt to try and push HSK here at the warehouse? Looking like they're opting to slip down into secret. All three of them. Zion is ready for them here, though. He's been constantly rotating down into vent and just dropping some of his utility, and he's going to be on the stairs. Headshot angle here, and these AKs, if they don't land the first bullet quickly, Zion is going to clean up many players here.
Texter's going to be leading the charge alongside with Tux. They're just shoulder picking the angle, but Zion just too sharp. The bomb now also dropped as well. Sterling going to try to retrieve out the AK-47. At the very least for Chiefs, they've been able to nullify Solo, so it buys them a little breathing space, but Zion is just going fast on the pressure. You can't be waiting for that, Sterling, but Zion's an absolute monster at the stage. You can't go anywhere past him. He's a single-man machine, and there it is. MVP makes it 7 now. Chiefs just no chance of it by the looks of it. It's just been absolute demolition. Here comes a tactical pause.
How does he make it look so easy? Just look at how many bullets he's shooting. He shot 4 bullets, killed 2 players, just pushes up, underarm flash. Another 4 bullets is another quick headshot with the AK, and Chiefs, they're looking absolutely devastated at this point. They're down 7-0. I don't even feel like I've been talking for more than 5 minutes at this point, and they're going to have to work out what they're going to do here. Maybe a bit of input from the coach.
Mitch, we've always talked about how strategies do work and everything, but there is one ancient saying in Counter-Strike, and you can't counter-strat brilliance. And that was just sheer brilliance coming out from Zion just then.
Yeah, just the individual skill is off the charts. He's not interested in letting Chiefs have any control of that lowers. He's not interested in going for any kind of spray at that point. He's hitting nothing but heads, and anything else he's not interested in.
So headshot after headshot, but now the tactical pause has resolved itself, and Chiefs, nobody really to work with in this round. We might be seeing something quick. They have slowed it down as they're walking into lobby, but you can see that MVP have dropped a lot of early incendiary grenades just to defend against any potential pushes.
Yeah, and these pistols aren't going to be getting anywhere until they go through this door.
Oh, but Sterling's already taken a lot of damage. At the very least, they do manage to shut down one of the A site holders. They have the opportunity to try to sneak through vent if they do decide to go through. Solo's just going to be holding on to the bomb site for now, but now the pistol's starting to do a bit more damage. Here comes Solo with a bit of a solo play. He's going to peek out and try to find a little bit more information. Texter does manage to successfully drop down. Now he does have the bomb. He's going to slow down because he's afraid that Zion might be down there, but this is actually the most advantageous position Chiefs have been in.
Oh my god, Tux is going to be creeping in through the annex. No, he opts to go around towards heaven, so making the long play. His teammates are just going to sit tight, see if he can make an individual pick. If he does actually slip into a position where he can pick one of these CTs, it's just going to cause a chain reaction.
I mean, he is in prime position to maybe take down HSK or Solo if he decides to find the correct timing. HSK not watching towards elbow or hell for now. He still thinks that they'll be coming through lobby. Solo's going to make the push into lobby right now. He is not fascinated waiting for the T's to push into him. He wants to go on his own initiative, and Sterling can't land the Desert Eagle shot. Chiefs now losing a bit of positioning. Texter's still going to be in decon, just waiting, as it's going to be Glow right above him with the rifle. Now, Glow is still very, very healthy, and he's been silent this entire time. He'll just get behind the silo. I don't think Tux has spotted him. Glow will hear the bomb plant. He'll deny that, and he'll also deny Tux getting any chance of any revenge. And once again, that was the closest that Chiefs have been, but it's still a clean finish for MVP.
Seems like just a matter of timing, and in some ways it is, but the thing is that the PK players, they're all just so cerebral. They're making all the right, moves. They're putting themselves in the perfect positions to not be caught off guard by some of the things that Chiefs are doing. And now heading into the 9th round here, 8-0 for MVP. That doesn't look like they've even been contested strategy-wise, aim-wise. Chiefs just not showing up to this game, looking hesitant, looking a bit sleepy. A little bit too early for them to be getting into things, but you know what? It's your map pick. You can't be going down this heavily, even on a map like Nuke that's CT-sided. Molotov comes out to just slow down that outside push. Texter, he's had enough. We need to see some of this from Texter. He needs to take control of this game because the overarching strategy is not working for Chiefs.
Yeah, you're just going to have to boil it down to sometimes to making risky plays, and that was a risky play and a half. But he's now got control of the warehouse, and he can still continue to probe around and try to find any more additional picks. HSK is going to be his first target. Now, HSK is just waiting in lockers, doesn't know there is one slowly, ever so slowly crawling up right now. Texter, unaware of where the AWP is going to be, but eventually he's going to start hearing the scoping noises. The rest of the Chiefs just going to be backing out into lobby, but Texter's got so much position to work with. He's going to be assassinating HSK right now.
I think even if he... Alright, he's going to actually go for the kill and fly right up the ladder, but it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of Chiefs will react. Looks like the MVP player's starting to panic a bit.
Yeah, Solo can't really do much. He's going to spot 2 out at Annex. The flashbang actually blinding the Annex players instead. And Solo's just going to go down to Texter. Now they know where Zeph is on the ground. Texter just single-handedly has blown open this A bomb site, but Glow and Sign still up here, ready to try to retake the bomb site. Why not? They got a lot of cash to do so as well. But Texter is the one that's posted in heaven right now. He's the danger person. MVP looking like they're actually backing off, not really going for this, which to me is a little bit interesting. Low is going to be dropping this incendiary grenade on Tux, and Tux is going to be burning alive. None of the other teams very fascinated in trying to push in and trade out their teammate because they don't know where Zyne is. Zyne is just holding. They're just looking for damage at the stage. But Chiefs will be able to pick up their first round. Well done, Texter. That's what they needed.
Yeah, need to start seeing some more of that from Texter. 2 deaths from the Chiefs players. They're going to need to hold on to these 2 guns, but here comes Zyne.
Oh, Zyne is holding this entire time, and APOC not checking the correct angle. Now Texter is out in the open, looking to duel it out. Does manage to work out in his favor, so they'll be able to take 2 guns in the next round. It's going to be the AWP and the AK-47, so they still have cash to work with. It's going to be a pause coming out for MVP, or for Chiefs. Doesn't look like a tactical one this time.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a tech pause coming out here, but it's an interesting time to sort of recap what's been happening. 8-1 so far. MVP's been absolutely dominant, and overall these Chiefs strategies, you know, these smoke executes haven't been doing them any favors. We need to start to see the individuals step up. Need to start to see Texter have some impact. APOC was absolutely huge for them in the online portion of this IEM Sydney qualifier, and he's going to need to show us some more of that because, honestly, you know, they're not outstratting MVP. MVP's got their number, you know, in every single regard, so unless these individuals keep stepping up here for Chiefs, I don't see this Nuke match going any better for them.
Well, I mean, they at least got 1 round on the board now, which is better than nothing, and they've spotted maybe a potential weakness at Outers. Texter, just where that single player's gone, hang on a moment, if we use these smoke grenades, we could potentially do a variation of the warehouse. I don't think that MVP will allow that to happen again, but it is a sign for Chiefs that outside is the part to potentially exploit a little bit further.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. It seems like they're so heavy towards that uppers area. Chiefs throwing these uppers executes at them is doing absolutely nothing because it feels like they're just running into the entire team from MVP set up in all kinds of different positions, and it's impossible for them to break through. So maybe more play towards outers. They were able to get ramps pretty easily. Glow just seemed to fall down to lowers. The problem is that when he does fall back down to lowers, they go and contest that. Sometimes you just need to take some map control for the sake of taking map controls. Looks like a tactical coming out of Chiefs going to decide what they're going to do going into this next round. And I mean, Texter, you can see him there being quite emotive. He's clearly found a chink in the armor of MVP, and he's looking to exploit it a little bit more, and that would be a good thing for Chiefs.
I was saying in the last round that he's going like, hang on, I went through hours just in the smoke, and he was playing like this, and now they're trying to identify the pattern of how HSK is playing. And you're saying that exploiting the armor, you need to be relying on tendencies, and you've got to be noticing these tendencies, and that's probably why they're taking this tactical pause. They know this is a very important round.
And the way that they won that last round, it gives MVP nothing to go off. All right, we might be a little bit weak on the outside, but we don't really need to make an adjustment just yet. In my opinion, I feel like you wouldn't want to because, you know, you're up 8-1, everything's working perfectly. Somebody made an individual play. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. I reckon just continue as planned, see what Chiefs have for us in this next round. But, yeah, this game's getting a little bit out of their control. I mean, it is Nuke. Grind out a couple T rounds and you should be all right if you're on the side of Chiefs. You just need a few rounds here and there, and maybe is that going to be coming from those individual plays? Are they going to be coming up with some kind of strategy to play off the tendencies of MVP? We yet to see.
So coming into the 10th round, everything is going to be slow to a crawl until Glow decides he's had enough and just pushes ramps. He wants to take the trophy. He will. A pick for MVP. And now they've got the numbers advantage. And HSK going to be trying to adapt by getting into the back of warehouse one more time. Texter, I think may have spotted him cross. No, it looks like he hasn't. Texter just going to be wandering into his death this time. HSK, a 1 pick so far. Not a 1 for 1 just yet. It's very
2-0.
difficult. It's very, very difficult for Chiefs now to try to get control of this warehouse, but APOC decides to go on a bit of a journey himself, and he's going to be rewarded. He gets a little bit of map control for Chiefs, but that map control is slowly dwindling away because Zyne decides just to come out a secret and goes, you know what, I'm Zyne. I kill people for a living in Counter-Strike, and that is exactly how you do it. Just a 2 down and outers. Now it's all down to APOC. They knew where he was. They don't know where the bomb is. That's the only reprieve. With 30 seconds left, I don't think APOC has much hope. Zeph is just going to be chipping the door open and just going to be going out straight for the duel with the XM. APOC hearing the shotgun, does not want to be risking it, seeing the pellet scanner everywhere. But you can see Zyne, he's already pushed all the way into T-spawn. He is watching it like a hawk. And APOC, he's going to have no life in this round. 9-1.
There you go. Unfortunately, that's exactly the opposite of what you want to see if you're a Chiefs fan. The one round they net, they only retain 2 of the guns, and unfortunately that's going to mean only 2 of the players have money. The rest of them looking pretty broke. Double eco territory here for Flix and Tux. Interesting to see if they'll go for a CZ armor and maybe a couple AKs. Looks like they're just going to go for the conservative approach, even though they're down so many rounds. Some people would disagree with that, but we'll see if they're correct in their decision making, economically speaking, moving forward in this game. Lots of people in lobby here for Chiefs too, towards the silo there, and Glow, he's not scared.
I think this looks like it's going to be an A-site climb. So we've got 2 coming out at heaven at the moment. Solo's actually been dinked down quite low, but Zeph just comes out with the XM once again. Looks like he's loving this weapon right now. Why not? It's been so strong on the A bomb site. And maybe it is the matter of the XM on the A. It's cheap, it's efficient, it's doing the job done. And now APOC trying to duel it out with HSK. The rest of the members of the Chiefs still in lobby, not making a move just yet. As APOC, that is a shot they needed for Chiefs. Because not only does it mean that Outers is a little bit more open, now Chiefs also just meandering around the lobby right now, looking for any other potential opening opportunities. They won't find it for Solo. But Texter, he's crawled all the way through ramp, and now looking to attack Heaven as well. This is once again a 3-on-3 round, now make it a 3-on-2 round. And if Texter can pick up Solo, it could have been a 1-on-3, but no, it can't be for now. It's going to be slowing down for now, just for a little bit, as APOC, he's done well with the Deagle so far. He's also retrieved the AWP, but Solo missing the spray. Means that they've exchanged position, the CT and the T. At the same time, Flix or Sterling still has the bomb, needs to take it out of Squeaky. He's going to be assisted by Zyne. And APOC, he's done all the work in this round. He's been the individual that's really opened it up. Now it's all down to Solo on a 1 or 2. No more. Chiefs, they finally do pick up a round on the back of APOC, getting 4.
Massive individuals step up there. Only pretty much a Deagle and a couple of P250s bought into that round for Chiefs, and that's an absolute lifeline for their T side, but still not feeling too confident. I mean, that's not really something that gives you a lot of faith when it comes to winning the actual gun rounds for Chiefs, and we'll see if they're able to continue. I feel like they just need to keep working the picks like they've been doing. It's the only thing they've had success doing. You know, sure, throw your smokes if you want to invest that much into the round at this point, but I don't know. MVP, they seem to have this half pretty much on lock, and we'll see how good Chiefs is CT side. You know what? If Chiefs is just grinding a couple of T rounds here and there, you know, they get 4 or 5 rounds and they have an absolute stellar CT side and win the pistol, maybe they know exactly what they're doing.
I mean, for now, they're doing not too much wrong. That was once again down to some individual brilliance coming out from APOC with a Desert Eagle. A shot and a half into HSK, followed up by just exploiting the positions correctly. And now Chiefs going to be looking at taking this out of position. This is very similar to what they were doing before, utilizing this wall of smokes. But Zeph, I think he spotted out a few. He's going to turn around and dodge one of the flashbangs. Can't dodge the second one, which means that Chiefs, they are into warehouse, and Tux will get the better of Zeph at the edge of the smoke grenade. HSK watching the angle though. Texter shoulder peeking it. Can't draw out the shot in time. The shot's going to hit him. Tux trying to crawl closer. But Chiefs, once again, they're very, very spread out. Still trying to gain this control. Tux is closing ever so closer. He's not watching the right direction, though. Glow's going to look around the right time. Tux just missing it by the amount of milliseconds. Solos decide to push in lobby at the same time. A chance for Chiefs right now.
Yeah, and the round's going to slow down here. Chiefs is going to make their way through outers. Sterling posted up on that heaven position. APOC and Flix going quick into uppers here.
HSK, though, on the floor of the AWP, watching the correct position, notices where the AWP is, but maybe it's not HSK that's going to be doing the bulk lifting, because once again, it's Zyne just coming out of vent with the M4.
You just can't predict what this guy's going to do. Flies out of vent, flies out of secret, pushes T-spawn, he does what he wants, and he gets all the headshots doing it. Can't blame him. Huge individual performance for Zyne, but I have to say, in entire MVP unit looking under control, looking calm, and they look like they're keen to take out this series. Might be disappointed with their performance against G2, but all of them today looking sharp and ready to play.
I mean, this is it when they need to play, right? Opponent's map pick, you're going to be confident coming into it. We know what we're expecting on Inferno and Chiefs. It's going to be difficult for them trying to come back into this game, but they just need maybe about 2 rounds, and maybe they can get this as well. They still got the AWP and AK and a few pistols to work with. Absolutely need this round.
Yeah, look, I'm not too much of a fan, to be honest, of this XM from Zeph. Sure, it's all right, but you know, I don't think he couldn't do anything he's doing with a rifle, you know, from Annex and stuff like that. Maybe Squeaky, it's quite effective. Smoke's coming out towards outside. 2 people going to wrap looking like towards Annex and then exploit outdoor and Hut for the rest of Chiefs. We'll see if they're able to do anything.
Well, the XM holding close range. The quick trade though, but Zion's just going to come straight out and Sterling can't get the trade down. Misses 2 shots, has to be bailed out by Tux. The dink does go underway, but Sterling finally, watching the heaven angle, does manage to get the kill that the Chiefs needed to make sure it makes Flow's job very difficult coming back in, and not being able to take down the low AWP member means that Sterling will punish him for it. So Chiefs do pick up the 3rd round on the back of it. Well done to them. They need every single round they can get in these final 2 rounds. MVP, they still have just barely enough money to buy up, but they have to make a decision now.
Yeah, a couple shots missed, a couple shots hit for Sterling, and MVP are going to buy into this one. If they do buy and win this next round, then they will have money for the next. But if they do drop this one to Chiefs, then unfortunately their bank accounts are going to be looking pretty depressing, and they'll have to go for a pistol armor buy, which means that this round, Chiefs not only playing for 1, but playing for a good chance at 2. And 5 rounds is nothing to sneeze at on a T side that's looked all but dominant for MVP.PK.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that for MVP, they were up about 8-1 or 9-2. For this to become a 5-10 would be absolutely brilliant. And Flick's already fast down. Just neutralizes F, and he's got control down unders, which means that Chiefs, they can start meandering down secret, potentially start probing for information. They're going to be crossing out the open. No smoke there really covering it, but the AWP can't get any shots raining down. Which means that this is actually Chiefs' round to lose right now.
Yeah, man advantage absolutely spreading MVP thin rather, as Solo pushing spawn does take out 1, but Sterling whips around and takes him out, looking like 2 of the Chiefs players walking towards decon, 1 outside and 1 in control. This round's just all over the place. Yeah,
and it's going to be boiling down all down to the B side, but Flicks or Texter and APOC able to get the kills that they needed to. Glow and HSK not being able to put any more damage on the unders bomb sites. It's all down to Zion right now. Doesn't really have a kit either, and he's just going to be maybe looking to retrieve the AWP and maybe just continue to do some more damage. But Chiefs have done very well to come back into the rest of this half. Flick's just going to be caught off guard a little bit. Zion, I think he is thinking about knifing, but nope. Holding the crosshair the entire time. Just going to retrieve the AWP and just back out, which is what was expected.
Yeah, and every kill that Zion gets, he actually denies a huge amount of grenades towards Chiefs, and we've seen that be so important in their strategy, throwing all those smokes towards outside. Can't say it's been too effective, but I imagine that they have a lot of plays that they could do off those outside smokes, you know, throwing them out, going towards a different area, maybe ramps or uppers, and that might limit what they can do in this next round. I'd imagine 1 or 2 of the players will now struggle for grenades, but across the board, the rest of them should be okay. So we'll see how this one boils down for Chiefs. They will only have to go up against the rifle that Zion, or the AWP rather, that Zion has managed to hold on to. Rest of them will probably just be able to get MP9s, CZs, UMPs, etc.
And it is going to be a problematic buy coming out from MVP in the final round, which is not good to be seen. But Chiefs, it is good to be seeing them starting to hit some shots, just needing some of that individual performance and not grouping up, just spreading out and getting the trades down. It's been working well for them, and they're just going to try to continue the good run against this subpar buy of MVP.
Like that bomb plant the Chiefs is able to net themselves, gives them plenty of money to do whatever they want with the utility, so bit of an economic misread, but that's alright. HSK got himself the AWP thanks to his buddy Zion saving that one over on the last round. He's definitely going to be the one who has to make impact here in this round, but Zion being set up for success here. Solo picking up Texter, going for another individual play, pushing towards lobby there.
He's
and, getting... wow, how's he managed to get control of it by himself?
Yeah, I mean, he's managed to get so much control as well, because Solo is now just going to be playing around lobby, and APOC at least takes down the AWP, but Solo probably going on a venture a little bit too far, but Zion just looking absolutely dominant with the MP9. Who needs a rifle when you've got an SMG that is an absolute demolition gun? 2 and 3 now. Chiefs just looking to stabilize for a little bit. They need to get rid of this pesky Zion at close range, but he's still lurking around the correct position, just not looking where APOC is. Oh, they've looked away at the wrong time. Zion has not heard APOC sneak by, and this may be indicative of the fact, no, Zion has finally spotted out APOC, and that MP9 is an absolute laser beam. It's all down to Sterling now on a 1 and 3. The very least, brings it back down to a 1 on 2. But Zion still has an MP9, a CZ in the hands of Zeph. Sterling trying to get the spray down. Zeph can't land the shots with the CZ, trying to shoulder peek right at the fire. But Sterling decides to whip out the CZ of his own. He will be able to complete the 1 on 3 clutch. Chiefs will be able to get the 5th round. That is going to be halftime. We'll be back after the break. Halftime here between MVP as well as Chiefs for IEM Sydney 2018 is the lower bracket elimination matchup. The best of 3 is starting off on Nuke. And MVP were off to a red hot start. They were up 9-2, but Chiefs managing to get the 3 rounds that they needed on the T side to make it about a 5-10 half score line thanks to Sterling getting that 1 on 3 clutch at the end. And that was a desperately needed 5th round.
Yeah, MVP was clearly the better team, both strategy-wise and individually-wise in that entire last half. But Chiefs able to steal with the individual plays away a couple of rounds. Gifted a anti-eco by MVP, and we'll see. It looks like this pistol round from MVP coming out pretty quickly towards uppers here.
Yeah, flashbang, well done from Tux to turn away, but it's still a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. Tex is still alive, though. He's me darting around the edge of the smoke, but Stolo, so strong on the pistols. The T's, though, down to 2. They have to make a decision where they want to be going. It looks like unders is going to be the call. Rotating down. Solo will be able to drop into the open and plant. Such a risky play, and he might be punished for this because the CT's already there at Megaton. So he's going to go down. Playing in the open means his death, but it does allow HSK more opportunities of playing around this scenario. No smoke, no kits for the CTs to use. Going to be tapping and just waiting for HSK with a P250. No armor, though. Means that he's going to be torn to shreds. Chiefs can just stick this to the 10 seconds, and they will be able to get a crucial pistol. And now suddenly Chiefs with a huge chance of coming back and actually taking Nuke.
Yeah, and
I mean, equalizing the score at the very least, but they were in danger of losing the game completely.
Yeah, I mean, that pistol's absolutely crucial because you're talking about a completely different scoreline. MVP 10-8 rather than 13-5 is, you know, absolutely massive because it would be a huge, you know, sort of comeback for Chiefs to manage from 5 rounds, even though they're on the CT side. How many different looks can MVP give them? They give themselves so many more opportunities to show different T-side strategies. Let the individuals have a big round to net them a freebie on the T-side. Looks like Glock's across the board with one flash. Going to be going very quickly towards the ramps here, and Flick's eager for a spray down.
Yeah, A4, perfect weapon to be getting the spray down as no flashbang. They're just going to be pushing straight in, and Flicks needs to be cautious of being caught out of position. Glocks are not too powerful, but a swarm of them can definitely do some damage. But Sterling decides to come and reinforce his buddy Flicks on the bomb site. And they actually do lose an M4. They won't be able to retrieve that, so some damage done. It means that Sterling, I mean, he's going to have to pick up the FAMAS, so someone's going to have to drop him, which means that the Chiefs won't have the most utility coming into the first buy round.
Yeah, definitely, and it'd be interesting to see what MVP is going to throw at them. Will they go towards those outside smokes? Are they going to take a slow approach? Isn't this going to be a fast one? Because it is pretty much rifles across the board from Chiefs, so there's nothing that they can really exploit in particular from the side of Chiefs. They even have plenty of utility to work with, whereas MVP, no Molotovs, just smokes and flashes, going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, and looking like they're going to be going a couple people towards outside, just throwing an initial flash, make sure nobody's pushing too far up, and it's looking like they're lighting up a couple smokes. Probably just one. Looks like that one is towards warehouse. And be interesting to see if they actually do go for the secret control with the limited coverage those smokes will provide, or whether it's going to be a sneak towards Annex, and more likely an uppers bust with the split through Annex could be pretty effective, but it's going to be up to Texter and APOC to cut off one arm of the push. However, HSK has that secret position completely locked down, and the utility comes out for his teammates. They take control of the warehouse.
Yeah, and Texter's just going to be ducking around, but with the FAMAS, it is not the weapon to be dealing out at this range. And this is going to be putting Chiefs on the back foot already very early on into Nuke. We are starting to hit the mid-game, and Sterling, once again, just in the position ready to do damage, but the FAMAS is just not good enough to get the multiple spray downs. Flicks, this is his opportunity. Only 2, though, but it does bring it back to 2-on-2. At the very least, this gives Chiefs a big chance back into it after losing 2 members very early on. The T's also very split up, which means it is going to be difficult for them getting access onto either the bomb site. 35 seconds left for the 2 teams just to work around with. Solo deciding to just come out through Annex right now. Tuck still playing around Hut. Time is ticking away.
Yeah, Nuke is just one of those maps where the 2-on-2 could go either way, really. Some maps, there's only a couple chokes that you can really work for. Looks like Tux has heard that drop. He's definitely going to hear this plan. APOC's going to have to move around through the vent. It's all going to be up to the timing. Will they be watching the vent? Is APOC going to be able to fly up and make impact? Tux makes the first one. It's all up to Solo from Annex, but he's walked all the way through to heaven. They couldn't have known his Annex, so he can still probably put the molly down onto this bomb if necessary. They have no idea where he's playing from, and the plant's perfect for him.
Yeah, but Tux is coming up, and now they know where he is, so he's going to be lining up the Molotov. It's good enough, though, as it does land. There is a kit, APOC. It's not going to land on the bomb plant. It bounces off the bomb site. Chiefs will be able to get that victory. Big round coming out from Tux. 3 kills for him on the A-bomb site. And now it is up to them to be doing the work, and this would be a massive comeback for the Chiefs right now.
And that's just what makes Nuke such a different map to some of the others. You know, the way that the XVX situations boil down is so complex, and there's so many different decisions that you can make just because of the way that the rotates actually function and the verticality of the map. You know, you often say that the evens man situations or man advantage situations will always favor the T's, but Nuke is a little bit different. There's so many different positions that you can take. You know, once the T's take one area of the map, you can push a different one. Like if they take outside, you just take lobby off of them, and then suddenly you've got a positional advantage, even though they may have a man advantage, and that can make all the difference.
HSK going to be opening the door and just dropping a smoke grenade in the front. But Tux is ready and reinforcing the position. So Incendiary going to be dropped. MVP just going to be shifting their attentions over into ramp instead. Flicks going to be trying to bail out of there. He is under a lot of pressure. He just has to stand and fight right now, and he will stand and fight. He will deliver as well until HSK decides he's had enough. But the bomb has decided to go on a different journey. It has been dropped at elbow, and it's going to be very difficult for HSK to retrieve it. Chase another round on the board, and it makes it even tighter now for MVP, 9-10.
That one a bit of a close one in the last, but the round that we just saw against the Pistols, Chiefs managed to retain 4 guns, which is really going to start boosting their economy. $8,000 for APOC. Two of them on about 2k. Flick's the only one really struggling at this point. He's fortunately not even going to be able to afford a Molotov, and that may be a problem at that ramps room. Pretty much guarantees MVP control of the ramps if they wish to take it after the smoke does go down, but MVP looking like they're going to go towards outers. I love that approach that they took in the last round, just setting up the warehouse smoke, the smoke between CT box, and then just flashing their way into warehouse and taking control. Molly off towards credit card from Zeph here, flash over the top, and Sterling, will he be ready? You know, he's going to have someone posted from Silo on his position. That is going to be HSK, but it's AWP up against AK, and if... Oh, looks like he's not even going to go try and contest it. They're just going to give outside towards PK.
Yeah, so he's just going to be playing safe inside Secret at the moment. Most likely going to be playing the Kenny S angles, and APOC just hiding behind the air conditioning vent. This is going to be such a strong position for him to be working with. You can see Zeph periodically checking to heaven. APOC just making sure they can't sneak into the CT. So MVP, they have outers control, but they don't have anything else just yet.
APOC, definitely known for making some pretty clever plays from time to time. Definitely plays very differently to a lot of other players, and this will be a good example of that. MVP probably won't be used to seeing anything like this. Sterling going to get the first pick as MVP chase him down lowers. It's
very difficult to chase off the AWP from this angle. You can see that Sterling has done well. It looks like he's done his homework and his pathing. He's going to drop the smoke grenade. There's only one still at outers. I think APOC, they've just exchanged positions, and this could be very, very dangerous because now Zeph's got the high ground. It's always going to be advantageous coming into heaven. He's slowly going to be clearing out the angles. They should hear the footstep of APOC. It's still going to be this A-site hit. Now it's going to be Zion coming all the way back around. There is going to be an engagement between Texter. Flix is going to come up, not aware, but APOC's already found 2 picks. Now it's all down to Zeph and Zion. The dink is going to go on to Zeph. Zion just busting out a squeak. The bomb lost in Annex, though. It's going to be so difficult. You see Zion just can't transition between enough targets. And APOC, 3 for that round. 1 for Sterling and Tux as well. Chiefs are drawing it apiece. 10 all on Nuke.
Sterling's really the star of that round in that regard. You know, PK, they take some control of the outers. APOC even letting someone up onto heaven unawares to him, but he buys a lot of time and it makes it extremely hard. Doesn't give the pick away to PK when they invest all the smokes and flashbangs, and that means that they're going to have to go for something else. And when they do, that's the secret. They have to walk down secret, and Sterling's able to get a pick and get away. And from there, PK has to make a pretty rushed decision, and it doesn't work out for them.
I'm about to say as well that Chiefs looking very, very dominant on the CT half so far, looking like what MVP were doing earlier, and APOC already opening up the action on solo. APOC starting to get confidence, starting to deal it out. Zion will be able to slip through. No, he won't. He misses the vent, and Texter, just as he's trying to bust out back through the smoke, is going to be spotting him out. So MVP already losing 2 members early on, and now might be losing more as well. Sterling was able to calibrate in time, but Zeph will punish him for missing that shot.
Yeah, and they do take control of the outside, but they've got to retrieve the bomb from T-spawn, and I don't know if they do take this outside control. Like we said, it's a positional map. Chiefs could take lobby control off of them, but they're going to go towards Annex, and they're not going to swap positions. Instead, Chiefs is going to look to try to cover off APOC a little bit. Tex is going to do that. They might be distracted from APOC's position. At this point, he's able to slip through, and that's a second for him in this round. He might go down to Glow, but he's done everything. He's got the first kill to open up the round, the second one to sort of put another nail in the coffin, and he's found out Glow's position. Bit of damage between Glow and Texter there, and he's going to have to decide what position he wants to go to. He could go towards T-spawn because he has to, the bomb's there, or he could go around towards Heaven, looking like he's choosing the former.
He has to go back to the bomb, and Texter, he's ready and waiting for it, pushing out, would have spotted the bomb as well. If not, there's only 2 ways it can really go as a T from there. Texter reads it correctly, at 11-10 right now. Chiefs actually in the lead now. Not something we would have expected back maybe about 15 to 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, and PK, they've been running the same strategy. It's a fairly solid one to going towards that outside control, but Chiefs giving them a bunch of different looks, just letting them have that outside control, picking them. And APOC, that's just a classic play from him. He always is switching up how he's playing. He's, you know, someone who's known for sometimes pushing through smokes, catching his opponents off guard. And in that round, he does a classic APOC push where you just go and you pick one just to get in their face a little bit, and then you completely change it up from last round where you were playing completely passively.
Yeah, it might look like a faster look for MVP. Just pistols in this round. They might be trying to bust out of A right now. They don't really have the bomb just yet. But the Caesar is just going to be lining up in lobby. Tux is just going to greet them. How you do with an HU nade. A lot of damage done onto Zeph. A little bit onto Zion. It looks like they're just going to be backing out their initial plan for now.
Yeah, MVP just waiting around in lobby. Solo chilling in behind Annex here, and Not a lot of outside control here for Chiefs. How much utility have they got left? Just a little bit, but most of it's on APOC towards outside, and they're going towards ramps.
Yeah, Flex decides to find the right time in the peak out. The Silence M4 won't be able to catch any of the T's off guard. So at the very least, MVP have control of ramp, but they're still coming back into the A bomb site. None of the CTs are rotated. Texter fighting it out close range, 1-for-1, but Sterling's still here with the AWP. Tuck's also close range with the assault rifle. They do manage to get a few picks, but it's not enough on the side of MVP because there's still more members of the Chiefs to contend with. And now Zeph, no bomb really to try to cut over, looking to try to pick up maybe the AK-47. Flick's a little bit too enthusiastic to try to get the kill. They know Zeph's still on the bomb site. This has got the CZ as well, and Zeph is just going to be retrieving the assault rifle to try to continue any damage. APOC just going to be sitting in vent and waiting for contact for his teammate. Zeph just going to go for the plant out in the open. APOC slowly coming up, so the plant will go down. Zeph backing out into hut.
With this utility from APOC and Sterling, though, probably won't even have to use it.
Yeah, just dropping one of the smokes, and Zeph just going to be holding his fire for now. Sterling is going to be covering off the correct angle. It's going to be an all-around for the Chiefs. They've strung 7 in a round so far. Make that probably about 9 or 10 since their T half, and MVP just no answer so far. They've looked completely lackluster on their T side.
Yeah, probably time to take a pause from them. They've got full loss bonus, which means it's just gun rounds on gun rounds at this point. And whenever they start to lack for money, they can even give themselves a chance with the CZ armor into the next round. But see if they do change up their approach. It will be the first change up that we've seen from PK. HSK onto the AWP. Maybe they're going to give him a bit more priority, try to take control of the game. Haven't really gone towards ramps yet, just mostly focusing on that outers, and they're going to do a little bit of different variation on the outer smokes. They're going to throw towards the right side and fast down towards Secret, all 4 players. Texas going to hear a lot of footsteps here, may even push in around behind them, and that might make the difference here. Texter, how many will he get?
Yeah, he's managed to maybe find the correct timing, but Glow was actually watching the flank, so it just means a trade out. But Sterling, he's here with the AWP. He needs to do work. Both HSK and Sterling missing the shots, and Sterling's not given the chance to land the second one as well. 3 Ts there, needed to be hitting those, and Sign might be able to. No, he can't stop the POC, as POC just comes swinging around the corner and wins the aim duel against Sign. Not an easy task to do. They still need to retake the Unders bomb site, and a 3-on-3 with APOC low. It is going to be difficult. Sign or Flicks needs to pick off Glow right now, as Tux does go down, trying to rotate under. As now it's all down to Flick. So maybe MVP have finally found the answer. It's taken them a while to put a round on the board, but it's not over just yet. Flicks, he's still on full HP. He's found the first target. HSK not landing the shot, giving a minimal window for Flicks to get the trade though, which is always going to be the favorable situation. As Zeph, that's class from Zeph. 4 kills for him, as MVP needed a little bit of individual brilliance to win that round, but they're back to maybe a winning way. Chiefs, enough money to try to break this flow of MVP.
And that's the good thing about how much of a buffer they gave themselves in the first half. You know, they might have even had a better CT half than that, but when you put yourself up in the first half, you have plenty of opportunities to not only build up your loss bonus, which means you can try more and more strategies in those gun rounds, but also, you know, you can give your opponents completely different looks there. Outside strategy, where they're throwing the smoke to the between the CT box and the warehouse, wasn't really working for them. And that is definitely going to be a different look indeed. HSK going for an early pick. Tux, he's going to exchange a little bit of fire with Zai, but MVP looking like they might slow this down a bit. They're in a 5-on-4. They're just going to wait for some pushes from Chiefs.
Don't need to do anything right now. They've got the advantage. Just have to slow it around to see what the CTs come at as a counter response. It looks like the counter response is going to be a bit more pressure to Trophy, but Globe will be able to get the headshot on Sterling. Flicks there, ready for the trade, but every single kill is going to bring it back in the favor of MVP. As that smoke is fading, Tarks is going to get a better design. That individual play is maybe just what Chiefs needed, but MVP just going to be taking Secret instead. Going to be going down to the B bomb site. No one here for the B bomb site except for Tux, and he's going to be up against Zeph. And Zeph just continuing the form from the previous round. It is a much more even round, this one, but still an opportunity for the CTs to come in and stop the bomb plant. They're all stuck in unders, and Flex just coming down. That's brave, but you need to be making brave decisions in IEM Sydney. And now APOC also spraying through the smoke. It's now down to a 1-on-2, all down to the AWP of HSK. The bomb has been planted though. Smokes, incendiary grenade just covering off the position. Flicks just going to be sticking it. HSK, he's not going to be peeking. APOC has kept him at bay. APOC won't even go down. HSK just going to be battling out of there. But Chiefs, they have won the next round. And MVP, they have enough cash to buy up in this round. But it is so back and forth coming into this latter half.
Absolutely, and I mean, both teams are pretty much going to have to spend their money down to almost $0 for most of the players. Zion going to still need to buy up himself here, so about 1,000 for some of the MVP players, but this is pretty much the most crucial round. MVP just broke the streak of Chiefs the previous round, and it's gone 1 for 1 each way, which means that there's going to be no loss bonus. HSK again almost catches Texter for the second time.
Texter needs to be aware of this now. He can't be presenting those opportunities. Should be aware now that HSK is opening squeaky and trying to get the pick with their AWP. So a little bit of action earlier on, but everything's reset back down to its default. Sterling actually with the M4, not the AWP, and it looks like he's going to be playing Secret. Very difficult to contest this with a Silence Rifle.
Very slow round here for MVP, but that Molotov is at least going to give Sterling some information that they are towards that outside area near the T-Red. Zeph now walking down low as it's going to be up to Flicks and Sterling. Sterling cannot hold. Zeph will get the pick off. This is going to cause reaction of rotations from the rest of Chiefs. But where will MVP choose to go?
And maybe MVP can also decide just to slow down and take the time to figure out if they want to be cutting off these rotations and playing around with them. You can see they're still on trophy. None of the CTs have rotated unders just yet. They've committed so much to this trophy room, to this ramp room. And Flex will lose the till. Glow just utilizing the Galil like an instrument. HSK, though, is there ready for the trade. And APOC not landing the spray. He's the last one left standing after Zion picks up Tux on the A-bomb site. It's all down to APOC with the Silence M4 trying to land the sprays. Does manage to get 2 more kills, but it is not enough at the end of the day as MVP. I think they've managed to finally reset the Chiefs, and in a situation where it is very dire.
It'll be looking like a double eco here from Chiefs, but luckily that's not going to give MVP match point. They're cutting it about as close as they possibly could. Good time to take a timeout, and if they invest in some pistols here in the next 2 rounds and keep cutting that MVP economy down, then they might be looking to break them right on the match point mark and try to steal the win away. But this one's definitely going to be a nail biter. Might be going into overtime here. See what Chiefs are going to discuss, because MVP, they've had so many opportunities to run whatever strategies they want to go for. They started out with their plan A of those smokes towards Warehouse and CT Red. Well, I don't even think it's red anymore. The sniper box, rather. And when that wasn't working, they sent people down lowers, and that seems to be really messing with Chiefs. Apart from Sterling stopping that once, they've definitely found a lot of success with that.
Sterling needs to be able to find impact with the rifles as well, because coming into this latter half, the CTs may not have enough to really be putting into AWPs. They are going to be on the full eco for this round. It's going to be potentially a costly situation for MVP if they lose too many guns. So they want to be keeping as many of these assault rifles up as possible. HSK, that's 3 rounds or maybe 4 rounds in a row now. He's gone for the same opening pick, and it looks like now the CTs giving respect to that angle. 13 to 12, MVP finally managed to find a few rounds, and maybe they're able to bring the momentum back in their favor. USP is just going to be spraying through the smoke. It is going to be dinking down. No, Zeph actually does go down. That's one of the rifles lost. Not a start that you want for MVP.
Look, they're just going to give it up. It'd be interesting to see if Chiefs actually go for this AK-47, because no one's really covering it. They can't really know that, though. But MVP, they're just going to do the smart thing, instantly group up. They're going to try and take control of something. Let Chiefs do whatever they want with their pistols on the other side of the map and just get the bomb down and lock them out of the bomb site. It's a sure way to win the round, even without the man advantage. Sure, someone will go for that AK. It's looking like Sterling's hanging around there, unless he's in the lowest bomb site. Can't really tell because of the radar sometimes. Yep, he'll probably go pick up that AK in just a second. It'll be interesting to see if Chiefs do go for the retake.
It's going to be difficult for the Chiefs to go for the retake. I think enough time has just gone by. Flix is going to be here in the bomb plant, so he's actually delayed the bomb plant a little bit. Also finds the information of a lot of the Ts, but none of the CTs in position to rotate. So I'd say they're probably the best opportunity right now. Sterling just taking this AK-47 over to the next round. The rest of the CTs also trying to find any opportunities they can, and that's an opportunity because Texas just blown Zion's head off through the edge of a wall. And they're still continuing to advance forward, the CTs are. Glow still watching towards Decon room. Texas with a Desert Eagle. Can't find any more kills. Does a little bit more damage though, so it looks like it's just going to be the single AK that's going to be saved over, unless Tux can also just take down Glow from this corner as he looks to transition out of the bomb site. Tux though gives away the angle at the wrong time, but he still hears more of these members. He will break the glass in the case of an emergency, and now it is an emergency for MVP's economy because a lot of damage has been done.
Is Glow going to go down here as well?
I think, Solo's going to go down. Glow doesn't go down, but the AWP's not in a retrievable position. Neither is the AK-47. That is a lot of damage done on the back of the USPs.
He ran up through the control and picked it up. That's absolutely insane. Oh my god, I'd be taking a cheat that's just going to go straight into the buy. Guns dropped across the board. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was Sterling as well picking up the... Sterling picked up the AK-47, Tux picking up the AWP, able to retrieve that in time and get away safely. That's absolutely critical.
If Chiefs win this round, they may break the economy here for MVP. That's the thing. Look at the money across the board here, and it's going to be quick into the uppers bomb site here for the rest of PK.
Yeah, Zion's just going straight down vent though, so it looks like we've already got this vent control. Texter should have heard the vent drop. He's still going to be dueling out near the annex positions though. As Zeph just going to be slowly walking forward. Zion just in the unders position, and Texter trying to spray, trying to find these targets crossing over into secret. But the spray, he's holding his fire. He will allow the rest of the tangos to transition over into the B bomb site. This is going to be very difficult for the CTs to try to retake the unders position as Texter. He's still going in for the deal. He does get away with a pick on Zion, and this means that the CTs can rotate through the vent position. Flix does a lot of damage. Zeph's watching the wrong way, but Texter can't punish him. It's a messy spray between the sides, and Zeph will get the better of Tux as well. And that's all down to Sterling. And this is the worst situation for Chiefs to be reset, and they did all the good work doing the damage, but they couldn't hold on in the buy round. And now Sterling desperately trying to hold on to the AWP.
And Zion is just Chiefs' worst nightmare in this series. Every time they want a straight-up round where they can get something done, he just cracks it wide open. CT side pushing all over the place, and then in the T side, huge impact frag, just guns it straight down secret ahead the rest of his team and just cracks someone's heads wide open.
Yeah, he's been the one stepping up alongside with Zeph. We've been, I think, underestimating a little bit on how well Zeph has been playing on the T side, because on the CT, he was with the XM, he was the money man of the team. Now on the T side, he's the entry man, he's the point man. He's blasting heads, and it's looking like he's in slow motion as well, and just instilling fear in the Chiefs. Only the pistols for the CT side now, just trying to work with, but they can do damage. We saw how much they could do with the USPs. And the Australians, well, we're good at losing anti-ecos, but also we're very good at winning them. So maybe this is a chance for the Chiefs as it comes into the dying halves of the regulation time. Texter going to go down to Zeph. Once again, Zeph just in the outers, an absolute nuisance. And no one from Chiefs can stop him for now.
Yeah, money pretty much going to be a non-factor here. We're down to the next round, and Chiefs, look, if they do win the next one after this, with very few players surviving, then maybe they'd have to worry about their money a little bit coming into the 15-14, but we'll have to see if they can even take the next one after this. Be pretty much a miracle for some of these CZs and Deagles, but first up, it's going to be Tux taking out Solo, Glow trading back onto Sterling.
Yeah, sometimes the miracle starts with a single pick, but they can't retrieve the AK-47. So although Tux does manage to get the kill, he can't retrieve the AK. And that means you can't really increase in your firepower, however good these CZs are, but it is going to be understacked. They've called it correctly though, because that is where MVP, they are slowly crawling over into the B-bomb site. Two members of the CTs waiting here with pistols. It's going to be a CZ and a Deagle. And you can be relying on APOC trying to find these kills. He was good in one round of the T side. Can he find that brilliance again? Decontamination about to be opened up. You can see HSK. There it is. Decon's going to be opened up. They haven't spotted out APOC just yet. They haven't spotted out his shoulder. And Flix, he'll deny the bomb plant. Zeph and Glow, though, will be just making sure they can't do any more damage. But now down to the captain, trying to stop the bomb plant. He needs to stop this bomb plant, but he can't. The aim punch is too strong. Can't find the headshot on Zeph. There was pressure coming in from behind from Zion as well. And now it is going to be map point finally. 15-13. Chiefs do have a bye, though.
And in a world where he actually secures that second CZ kill, who knows if the other T can make it down vent fast enough to get the bomb plant. But two chances in a row for Chiefs here. They're going to have to take advantage of both of them if they don't want to go down 0-1 on their map pick. Somewhat limited utility from Chiefs, but they do have plenty of the smokes and the Molotovs. They'll need to stop any funny business from PK in this round. But door being blown wide open. Sterling's actually posted up here on Annex for any of the PK players to get... Oh my god.
That is exactly what you need, as Sterling decides to time it through the smoke and gets it to perfection. And it's going to be Zion cooked. He is out of this round. But the action is once again just slowing down after initial action. No movement from MVP for now. Still holding firm in lobby. Just the single person outers. That is going to be Solo, not Zeph this time. But maybe looking to ramps. Maybe sensing a bit of weakness there.
Yeah, PK usually very solid in the mid-round here. They're going to be grouping up towards ramp here. Solo's going to pick one on outside by himself, just as his name suggests.
Yeah, and that equalizing the number situation. Glow just shoulder peeking in, decides to push Flix off, but Flix standing his ground is still fighting, does a lot of damage to Glow and takes down Zeph as well. So it brings it back down to a 3-on-3. Now the positioning for the CTs, not that great just yet, but Tux, look at where he is.
I love what the CTs are doing here. Two of them posted out towards outside for Solo to come back towards that direction. Tux trying to pincer him in from lobby, but both of them are moving back through radio. Tux and Texter.
Oh, Tux, he's going to go down, but Texter just waiting. He's expecting another member. HSK is going to be caught off guard, and this means that bomb's been lost in Squeaky. This is now Chiefs round to lose. Solo by himself. He's on full HP though, slowly crawling out. Sterling, I think, has just found the timing, peeking out of heaven. And that is Chiefs picking up their 14th round. We're down to the final round of regulation. This is either now going to be overtime or a victory for MVP. There's no two ways around it.
That's beautiful stuff from Sterling, securing the first and the last kills in the round, giving Chiefs the edge that they need. And you said he needed to step up with the rifles, but it's mostly been the AWP, the success point for him in this match in particular. MVP, what are they going to go for? Their money's suffering a little bit at this point, and be interesting to see if they're going to go for that lowers control like that has given them so much success so far.
Well, Zion is very interested in dropping unders once again, and he's going to go straight down. Texter can't land the spray through. Solo also joined his compatriot unders, coming fast down into the B bomb side. He's got the bomb. It's down in the first 20 seconds. Chiefs, oh my goodness, it's going to be a 5-on-5 retake. It's going to boil down right here.
It's so important for Chiefs to just take their time on this retake, but Flix opens it up very quickly here.
And Tux as well also gets the kill onto Go. They're looking to try to get into Vent, and Zion, such a big responsibility right now. He was great on the CT half. Now he needs to be phenomenal on the T side, but the CTs aren't going to be able to make their way into Vent. Tux, oh Zeph, the drive-by with the UMP just completely rails Tux, but it is still the numbers for the Chiefs at the moment. Time is ticking away though. This is going to go down to HSK, taking out Tux, Texter, HSK with 2. This has gone terribly wrong for Chiefs, and Sterling's going to be the last man left standing, trying to stick the defuse. He won't be allowed to. MVP, the 2-on-4, HSK, just stealing it away from the Chiefs at the end.
Unbelievable. It comes down to that retake. They get it started very quickly there, but a bit rushed decision making as to who's covering which angle. I think they needed to stick it at that point. I don't know how many kids exactly that they had, so hopping on the defuse, you know, it's just one of those things. Things have played out differently. We could be looking at overtime here, and Chiefs are going to be pretty devastated with that one. It's even worse. You know, one thing, you can get smashed and, you know, you can just feel like my opponent was completely better than me in this map in particular, but when you come so close and then fall at the last hurdle, that's the most crushing of all.
Yeah, they fall at the last hurdle indeed. 16-14 victory for MVP as they do take their opponent's map pick. I mean, that was honestly a tighter game than what we expected when it first started off. MVP went off to a red hot start, and then Chiefs just during that mid part, that was a huge string of rounds they were able to pull together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, stringing it together on the T side, it seemed like they were completely unstoppable, and you know, just 5 for Chiefs on their T side in particular, and then on the CT side, they were able to make the comeback in contrast to MVP's T side, where they're just taking full control of the game.
Yeah, and MVP, I mean, it was just really down to, I think, at the end of the day, Zeph, and as well as, not Solo, but Zion just doing so much work. I mean, initially it was Zion on the CT side. I think we were looking at, after the half, 130 ADR, absolutely ridiculous. And then Zeph decided on the T side that he was just taking control of all of Outers. Didn't find success early on, but eventually it started to click for MVP, and that's where they're able to get the rounds flowing for them.
But that's the beautiful thing about MVP's team. You know, you talk about the different halves, Zeph having a huge impact on the T half, but on the CT half, he was given quite a difficult job. You know, he's having to handle the XM half the time to cover off the Squeaky in the annex position. But when Zion is given all the freedom, he gets to get all the kills he wants. He's the swing player. He can go towards secret, get any of the kills that he wants. But when it comes to the T side, you see him, you know, make a lot of impact as the entry man into that lowers area, running out the Squeaky door to get control and sort of split Chiefs' attention, you know. That's the cool thing about this MVP team, you know, you don't have that one selfish person who's like, no, I always have to be in the important positions. I can't be taking a huge amount of the risk when it comes down to making those impact plays and stuff like that. And it just varies from half to half, and any of them could take over the game.
Yeah, and I mean for Chiefs, that's an absolute heartbreaker because all of them did so well. It felt like you just had individual rounds out of all of them. APOC during just that middle section for the CT half, just how many picks was he able to get on MVP and just able to flit out alive. Then Sterling at the end as well, able to get the kills they needed, but it wasn't enough. They dropped down just at the last moment on that retake, and it was looking so promising as well. 4-2, and then HSK out of decontamination with the AK-47. Such a potent position to be playing from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we already thought like that was going to be a Chiefs retake through and through, but when the money gets really messy at the end of the game, you got to change up what strategy you're going to go for. We saw MVP, they had to go for something a little bit gimmicky. They were able to get away with it, but Chiefs, they might not have had all the utilities that they needed. They might not have had all the kits that they needed to be able to counter that very, very fast plant, and unfortunately, they just rush it towards the end despite having the man advantage. MVP is able to, make some individual plays, come out of some sneaky positions on a map like Nuke. That's something that can be pretty hard to deal with, and especially when, you're trying to calculate all the different angles, all the different possibilities in such an important high-pressure round. Sometimes, your brain just, goes out the window and you make a mistake, and that's all there is to it.
And indeed it is, because that's Nuke done and dusted for our first map of the series. The second map is going to be coming up. It is going to be Inferno. Can Chiefs bring it back? Or will it be a victory for MVP.PK? Well, we'll have to find out after the break.